cop to be a Panther. I'll do it. They say you have to bring the gun back. I'll do it. I'm just fired up. You know how you're young and crazy? I'm 15 years old. And I just jump up and I said, choose me, brother. Arm me. Send me on a mission. I'm ready to kill Whitey right now. He said, come here. So I walk up to the front. He's sitting by a desk. I look at my, the guys that I came with like to say, yeah, boy, told you. This brother opens the desk. He reaches and he pulls out. He's reaching real low. So now I look back at my boys. Man, he's going to give me a big gun. See how far down he's reaching in the desk? And he...
Well, if you think kill Whitey and, kill the cops is all the Black Panthers were all about, you're in for a surprise. Recently I had a comment from Schizo where he said that the Black Panthers were on par with the KKK. The comment blew my mind. I don't know where Schizo got that idea, but I would like to put that idea to rest. First, a little trip down memory lane, what the Ku Klux Klan are really all about.
Whether at the peak of power or barely afloat, the Klan philosophy of hatred, of violence, has endured since its beginnings in a small Tennessee town.
We still will not mix up with a bunch of black savages.
I'm not one of these freeloading niggers out here living on Granite Road in the housing project.
They were brought here as slaves. The only reason that they're free is because there's some liberal teaching Jew-minded idiots that decided to free them.
And we're simply an organization that's working for the interest and the ideals and the culture of the white people.
Hey, look out, nigger! The Klan is getting bigger.
White power!
White power! White power!
I'll tell you this. The Klan's here because we've been here for 131 years. The legacy is that we've had a lot of hangings, a lot of bombings, a lot of shootings. That don't bother me at all. If somebody wants to go out here and kill a nigger or something, I don't. Hey, they're not our equal. They have no right to breathe free air in America. This is not the Boy Scouts. This ain't the Cub Scouts. This is the Ku Klux Klan. If you don't like what we're saying, then go away.
Wow. It's a pretty hateful organization. Probably one of the worst homegrown terrorist organizations the U.S. has ever produced. I'm sure they've terrorized, beaten, murdered, and intimidated hundreds of thousands of people across this country. And Schizo wants to compare the Black Panthers to them. Maybe you're not as familiar with the Black Panthers, so why don't we take a look at who the Black Panthers are in comparison.
Okay, in 1966, two dudes, Newton, Seal, black activists who want change. Back this up in this black activists who want change, Seal, Newton, in 1966, okay? Okay. They formed the Panthers. Why? Is socialism, self-defense, self-empowerment, change. Back this up and you have change, self-empowerment, self-defense, socialism is why they formed the Panthers. What's my point? No matter how you look at it, whether it's backwards or forwards, the message is still clear that the intentions of the Panthers was for a good cause. The Panthers practiced militant self-defense of minority communities against the U.S. government and fought to establish revolutionary socialism through mass organizing and community-based programs. The Panthers follow Malcolm's beliefs of international working class unity across the spectrum of color and gender, and thus united with various minority and white revolutionary groups. From the tenets of Maoism, they set the party as a vanguard of the revolution and worked to establish a united front, while from Marxism they addressed the capitalistic economic system, embraced the theory of dialectical materialism, and represented the need for all workers to forcefully take over the means of production. These type of practices were feared by the government.
Well, hopefully these two organizations are starting to look a little different to you, even if maybe you thought that they were very similar. On the one hand, you have the KKK, which is based ignorance, fear, and hatred. And it's important to keep in mind who the KKK was started by. The original members, the founding members of the KKK, were not Joe Redneck and Bubba. They were the leading aristocrats, the bankers, the merchants, the upper echelon of society. And they do these things, like the KKK, any of these things that stir up racial animosity. They purposely do these things because it keeps the working class separate, okay? There's many instances in American history where poor whites, black slaves, and Native Americans joined forces. That's why they had to implement laws against interracial marriages. They had to institute racism because it's not natural. Naturally, we would have joined forces. And naturally, we did. That's why there had to be laws made against it. And the Ku Klux Klan is born out of that effort to pit poor white against poor black. The Black Panthers, on the other hand, are a real social organization aimed at educating and organizing the inner cities. While their original outlook may have been very much focused on race, what they came to realize, as they did network with many groups, other minorities and whites, is that it was essentially a working class issue that they were fighting. You might be wondering why you have such a negative view of the Black Panthers if they were indeed a positive organization. Noam Chomsky will do a little explaining on this.
Effort must be made to neutralize and disrupt this revolutionary movement.
The federal government, through 4 administrations, were running a terrorist program against dissent. Literally a terrorist program. Major terrorist program. I mean, it began against the Communist Party back in the 50s. Under Kennedy, it really took off. Maybe the Panthers were the most viciously attacked. At the time, we now know a lot from released documents. At the time, according to the FBI, the Panthers had 800 members. But they were devoting enormous efforts to destroy the party because it was doing things like running free breakfast programs in churches and things like that.
Yeah, our government waged a war against dissent. It's actually a pretty common theme in our history, if you take a look at it. The government's role in destroying the Black Panther Party is well documented. I'm just going to give you a glimpse into one of the hits carried out by the FBI.
April 6, 1968. Little Bobby Hutton. Doesn't he have just the cutest little face? Not anymore. Those fuckers went into his house, set the shit on fire, waited for him to run out, then they fucking shot him 10 times. Oh yeah. He was only 17 years old.
I know. In the back of your head, you're still thinking, those Black Panthers were racist. So, to put that to rest, let's take a look at a couple clips from a Black Panther gathering in, I believe, 1968.
Huey Newton stood before the court on Tuesday morning and intoned, "I am not guilty."
Now, I'm going to bring you on now a member of the Peace and Freedom Party who has worked diligently on behalf of Brother Huey. I'll give you Bob Avakia.
And I want to say that I wouldn't be on the stage, we wouldn't have been at the Oakland Induction Center if it weren't for the courageous people, the masses of people and the leaders who led and participated in the black liberation struggle all these years. Because they're the ones that taught us. They're the ones that forced us to face what the reality of America and this system was all about.
And our brother who was eager to kill Whitey, ready to kill for the Black Panthers, what did that brother give to him out of the desk?
Pulls out a stack of books. And I said, "Excuse me, brother. You said you were going to arm me." And he says, "Excuse me, young brother.